Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. I appreciate it. Today's beer comes from Connecticut Valley Brewing. This is their Trailblazer, and they're calling this an American Double Imperial IPA, coming in at 8%. It doesn't say double or imperial on the can, it just says New England style IPA. I wish they would write double or imperial on there so you'd know. But if you look at the ABV that's on the can, you see it's an 8%, which tells you that it's a bigger beer than a single IPA. This was sent to me by my brother Rico, and he writes, 8% New England style double IPA featuring Centennial and Citra hops. He says, I last reviewed this 2 years ago in 2016 when the brewery used to be called Pioneer Brewing Company, and they weren't dating their cans back then. They are based out of South Windsor, Connecticut. He picked up a 4-pack last week at the store, and it was $15.50, canned on 03/29/18, and today is the 17th of April, so it's only a couple of weeks old. This should be very, very tasty and juicy. The can looks the same. I remember the same graphics on the can back when I did it then. I didn't go back and look at the review to see what I gave it or anything. So we're going to base this like on a new beer, since it's a different company or a different name for the brewery now. But like I said, I didn't go back and look, and I don't know what I gave it then. If it was a New England style back then, I was probably blown away by it, being that far back. That's when I was just starting to get my hands on this style of beer. So we'll see what this one brings to the table, and see what it gets. We're going to base this like I said, like I've never had it before. But this is the 2018 version of the Trailblazer from Connecticut Valley now. Over to Untapped, they have it at 8%, but we don't have the IBUs listed there either. Their commercial description says, our signature citrusy New England style IPA, Citra hops impart bright orange notes with light tropical undertones and finishes with a pithy grapefruit zest. So, big 16-ounce can here, so it is time. Let's get it on. Let's pop the top on this bad boy and get it into the glass. And while I pour this, guys, looks pretty hazy coming out. I'll tell you the cuisines. Barbecue cheeses are peppery, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar. Your more pungent cheeses, gorgonzola, Limburger. And the meat is game, grilled meat, and salmon. Glassware snifter, tulip, oversized wine glass. And I'm going to stop reading whether you can sell this or not, guys, from Beer Advocate, because they don't have a clue. Do not sell her this beer, guys. That's the whole reason they got to put a date on it. It's got a nice foamy head here on it, but it's not even covered the center part. We'll just say maybe 1/8 of an inch of head. And it's not that bright orange juice looking color. It is an unfiltered beer. And it may change when I get the back end pour on there, guys. Good looking beer. It really is. So let's see what we got on the nose. Oh yeah. Awesome aroma on the nose. Super hop aroma. Oranges, grapefruit, pineapple, mango, big pine notes. Wow, smells awesome. It really does. Well, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Wonderful aroma. big pine and grapefruit notes there, guys. Very citrusy. Alcohol seems to be very well hidden. Wow. Very, very tasty. It's already leaving a very nice lacing on the glass. We had an inversion here. Yesterday's beer said it was a double and it was a 7, which was a single. Today's beer, which is a double at 8%, and this is calling it a plain New England style IPA and not calling it a double. So we had one yesterday that was called a double and it was a single, and now we got one today. It's called a single, which is a double. Go figure. They can call it whatever they want to call it, guys. Like I said yesterday, very, very confusing sometimes on how they label or call their beers. So that's very nice. Well, we're going to get the back end pour in there and see if it changes it at all. We had a little bit of settling going on in there. It was just a little more orange juice looking and a little cloudier coming on that back end pour than it was at first. Yeah, that's a little closer to that bright orange juice color than when I poured it out. So we got, even though the beer's just barely over 2 weeks old, we had some settling going on in the can. So it's a little bit brighter, almost to the orange juice color. I mean, that could pass for orange juice in the glass in that color. So a little bit of settling going on with this one. So it's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. Let her taste it, sip on it for a little bit. Very impressive beer. Like I said, I didn't go back and watch the review from the first time, but seems like a very impressive beer. So let me sip on it, and I'll come right back and see where she ends up. All right, guys, I'm back. Been sipping on this for quite a while now, 30 minutes or so. A little bit of lacing is left on the glass. Don't know why these guys changed their name, but they still using the same graphics and the same color can that they were back when I did it a couple years ago. When I did this, this was basically some of the introductory New England style IPAs, or a double IPA as it is here with an 8%er. And I was kind of blown away back by then. I did go back while I was sipping on this and pulled that review up, and I was very impressed with this beer. Back then, like I told you earlier, Rico, they weren't dating their stuff then, and now they are. They were putting a little price tag sticker on the 4-pack, and if you were lucky enough to get the one that had the date on it, you were lucky. And if they broke them into singles and set them on the shelf, the other 3 didn't have that date on them. So they are dating everything now. So 2 big thumbs up to those guys there. This is still just as tasty as I thought it was back then, guys. And I think it's a little more closer to the orange juice color now than it was back then. So they tweaked it just a little bit, and I think they've got a winner here, guys. I would buy this beer if I could get it here, and no doubt about it. The hops, aroma, and taste are off the chain, guys. Definitely a New England style beer. Nice bright orange juice color. Very impressive. The grapefruit and the pineapple and the pininess and citrusiness and tropical fruit notes in there, and maybe even some lighter fruit, apples, pears, apricots. Very, very, very tasty beer, guys. Final chug. That's very delicious, guys. It is. Back then, I said it was a 10 beer in a 9 can because they weren't dating their stuff then. Putting a little sticker on one of the cans. Now that they are dating it, I'm gonna step up to the plate, guys. They've done what we've asked them to do. They're dating all their cans. So it's a 10 beer for me, guys. It's a 100. And like I said, I would buy this beer if I could get it here. So if you can get it where you're at and you like this style of beer, you ought to pick it up. And if you've had it, let me know what you think, guys. Let's jump over to Beer Advocate, see what they say. They say 4.22, an exceptional range. I agree, it is an exceptional beer. A very, very tasty beer. A very nice example of a New England style double IPA, if you will. Over to Untapped, they have it at 4.17, also in their A category. Also, very tasty beer, guys. It's unanimous. It's an A beer all the way around, and I think it's a 10 beer, so that's what I'm going to give it. That was the only fuss I had back then. They weren't dating all the cans, and now they are. So I'm going to give them the 10. So if you've had this one, and now it's from Connecticut Valley instead of Pioneer Brewing, still, I think it's even better than it was before with the bright orange juice color that I wasn't noticing on the first time when I looked at the beer review. It looked like it did when I first poured it into the can. Then when I poured the back in and it brightened it up to that orange juice color, it didn't do that the first time. So I think they've tweaked it and they've got it figured out. So and that's what happens. I mean, the more these brewers brew these style of beers, or any style of beers, the better they get at it. So, like I said, guys, if you've had this one from Connecticut Valley Brewing, this is their Trailblazer, New England style double IPA. Let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.